Hello everybody, it's Anna here again today, and we are on the Wales coast path, continuing where we left off from last week at Aberdaron, and we're heading up towards the right, and then we're going to circle round and come along the coast on the way back here to Aberdaron. But we're heading over to a place called CWRT, which is owned by the National Trust, and CWRT gets its name from the medieval court and exchequer that once stood on this estate and managed and financed the abbey on Bardsey. But look at this, right here is where in the olden days they used to hang people, and Alf and myself didn't know this until later on the day, but we were sat here and we were taking a little break in the sunshine, and I could hear voices and everything, and it was just a friendly place, but we didn't know what had happened there in the past. But Google it to find out more info. I haven't got time to really go into that now, because here we are heading now down to PORTH MEUDWY, and this is now where you get the boat over to BARDSEY Island, the island of 20,000 saints. Don't forget from last week's Welsh lesson that BARDSEY Island in Welsh is Ynys Enlli, and that's meaning really island in the flood or tides. It's quite treacherous here crossing over to BARDSEY. And I don't think I mentioned it in last week's video, but it was said at the time that 3 pilgrimages to Bardsey equaled 1 to Rome. Look at that, that's a bird of prey on top of a seagull. Alf filmed that, I wouldn't film that. Children, look away. There's Alf, and then we're heading up there, hoping to see some seals or dolphins along the way. And at sometimes you can actually see the sights and sounds and smells of the fishermen bringing in their catch. It's amazing coastal scenery here though, and a taste of local Aberdaron crab brought fresh from one of the shops, pubs or cafes in Aberdaron, I should say, would come from here. Let's see if there's any Welsh that I could teach you. Don't forget, sand is tywod and sea is môr. Shoe is esgid and shoes is esgidiau. Seaweed is gwymon. Cliff is clogoin. Cliff again is clogoin. Blue sea is môr glas. Môr glas. There's Alf. Look at the sunshine. It's a beautiful day. And there's myself, standing. Standing in Welsh is sefyll. Without doubt, the LLYN Peninsula has stunning scenery to offer, and Alf and myself love walking around here because there's mountains and coastline and rolling countryside to ancient castles and forts, and there are a lot of walks which take in all that the LLYN has to offer. It's fabulous. So here we are now at the top, and we're heading back towards Aberdaron. Sun in Welsh is hael, remember. And fence is fens. I was saying before when we were down at PORTH MEUDWY that some people, that 3 pilgrimages to Ynys Enlli equaled 1 to Rome, and some people actually went there to die. And we've said previously that legend has it that 20,000 saints, that's early Christians, are buried on the island that's behind us now. And a lady called Glenda Carr, who is a place name expert, suggested that hermits centuries ago weren't so committed to seclusion that they wouldn't live beside pilgrimage routes, and that a hermit living here might have received occasional gifts from pilgrims in gratitude for praying for a safe crossing of the dangerous Bardsey Sound, which separates the island from the mainland. Now see those two islands there? There's a big one and a small one. Let me tell you about them now. The big one is called LLYN A'R. That's because, well, I've taught you that Ynys is island, Gwyllan is gull. We've learned this in previous lessons, and Fawr stands for big because Mawr is big in Welsh. So, and the small island, that one is called Ynys Gwyllan Fach because that's the small island, and in Welsh we've known from previous lessons that small in Welsh is bach, but in this case it's Ynys Gwyllan Fach is the small one. Now this house is quite unique in that it was owned by two lady teachers. They were sisters, I think, and when you actually visit this house, which is on the coastal path that we're taking, it tells you all about it because you can scan your phone over the history points there. See that green and white sticker thing? You scan your phone over there and you can find all about it, but you can't really find anything online. I've discovered, I wanted to tell you more about it, but two teachers owned it, and on Sundays they used to invite their favourite pupils that were doing well to their house for tea. Alf and I were saying you wouldn't be allowed to do that today, would you? I'm sorry for speaking fast today. I'm aware I'm doing it, but there's so much I want to fit in to tell you. Now, down here, these coastal waters right here are part of PEN LLYN A'R SARNAU. Now there's me looking down. And PEN LLYN A'R SARNAU. Can you see the old pier that's heading down into the water? That's no longer there. We're heading up there in a minute, but let me just tell you, these are part of a conservation area, one of the largest marine designated sites in the United Kingdom, and the coast itself forms part of the Aberdaron and BARDSEY Island Special Protection Area, and was designated a heritage coast in 1974. In 1956, the area was included in Clean Area of Outstanding Natural Beauty. Conservation areas have been created in Aberdaron, BARDSEY Island and A'R, and the area has been designated a landscape of historic interest. Because, like I said last week, the area around here, Aberdaron, and this whole area has been inhabited by people for millennia. Evidence from the Iron Age hill fort at Castell Odo shows that some phases of its construction began unusually early in the late Bronze Age. And I didn't mention in last week's video of Aberdaron that the church there had the ancient privilege of sanctuary, and in 1094 Griffith ap Cynan, the exiled king of Gwynedd, sought refuge in the church while attempting to recapture his throne. And following the conquest of Gwynedd in 1284, England's King Edward I set about touring his new territories. Terrible man. He visited the castles at Conway and Carnarvon, and court was held at Nevin, at which his new subjects were expected to demonstrate their loyalty, and he visited Aberdaron on his way to Bardsey Island Abbey. This is a National Trust property in Aberdaron, and it's called Hwyn, obviously after Saint Hwyn, who we learnt about last week. And we're coming up now to look at that on the left. The yellow building is an old bakery, 100 years old, and this is an old mill that is being restored from the 13th century. So that's it for today. We'll leave it there at the old mill from the 13th century, simply called LLYN, and we'll say ta-ta for now, and we'll see you on the next adventure, or the next Welsh lesson, or the next Welsh history lesson. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to keep practicing your Welsh, because practice makes perfect. Ta-ta for now. See you soon. Nos da.